Welcome to Good Morning Transfers. Will MYLES LEWIS-SKELLY leave Arsenal? Is Jed Spence off to Inter Milan? And will Enzo Fernandez be reunited with Enzo Maresca this summer? All this and much more to discuss over the next hour with our reporter Michael Bridge and our guest this morning, former Bournemouth and now Wycombe defender Steve Cook. Welcome.
Thank you.
Right, here's what's coming up for you then. Chelsea have made an inquiry about Lewis-Skelly with Manchester United interested too, but should he stay and fight for his place at Arsenal? It sounds like Michael Bridge is having a day off. He said nothing yet, but we'll get to him in a moment. He's been busy, I promise. Right, MYLES LEWIS-SKELLY's future at Arsenal. That's been a topic of conversation over the last 24 hours. Chelsea have made an inquiry about signing him. However, latest reports indicate the midfielder wants to stay at the Emirates. Now, Manchester United are also interested in the 19-year-old. And our Manchester United reporter Daniel Carn is in Dublin for their friendly against Leeds. That's later tonight. And you can see joining us live now. So, look, I guess what's the latest from Manchester United perspective in terms of Lewis-Skelly, Dan?
Skelly, I think there was a lot more fuel behind their interest, much more in March when we first reported how he was on their list of options looking at left back. And let's not forget, Manchester United are also looking for a potential midfielder, which MYLES LEWIS-SKELLY showed at the end of last season in the Champions League final that he is more than capable of playing in that position as well. But when we reported their interest in March, Lewis-Skelly wasn't necessarily as involved as he was come the end of the season. I think that's maybe why Manchester United probably had a bit more optimism looking at him this summer. As far as I know, I think that is all it is for now, is just interest. They are very much aware of him. And I think if his situation changes at Arsenal and it comes at a fee that they think works for them, maybe it's something they will pursue. But for now, I very much think Lewis Hall, although he seems unattainable in Newcastle at the moment, Newcastle adamant he is not for sale. I feel like he is their number one target in that position. But left back, undoubtedly, Hayley, is somewhere they have to strengthen in this window. Those at the club have suggested to me that long term they do see Patrick Dorgu playing left back, but that needs a lot of development in terms of one-on-one defending, maybe back post defending as well, having come as a wing back. So that could be something we see in the future, but it's quite a lot to ask of him to really deputise for Luke Shaw this season with the increase in games and really needing to manage Luke Shaw's fitness at the age he's at and where he's at in his career as well. So left back is definitely something to look out for come in the next few weeks before the deadline. But I feel like MYLES LEWIS-SKELLY for now is just interest from the Manchester United perspective.
We'll get the guys' take on that in a moment, but we just spoke a little while ago, didn't we, to Daniel Carn about MYLES LEWIS-SKELLY as well. Let's just talk about Arsenal first. I want to stay with you, Michael, because can they afford to let him go?
Well, in terms of squad depth, yes, probably. Look, if he did start in the Champions League final a few months ago, and it would be interesting to see whether he would like to have a new opportunity. He's been at Arsenal since he was 8 years of age. But we've looked at Manchester United, we've looked at Liverpool about the squad depth. I look at that, and I look now and I think Arsenal have all the top clubs. They are probably the most ready if the season kicked off tomorrow. I mean, you look at Bruno Guimaraes there, alongside Declan Rice. That, for me, is formidable. Absolutely formidable. I don't know what you think about, but in terms of that midfield, and then you've got Martin Odegaard, Eberechi Eze, Max Dowman. What a big season it's going to be for him. Saka Madueke, that's sorted. The left-hand side, I mean, look, they're looking at maybe getting another forward around that side as well, maybe a left-sided forward. They look well-stocked in defence. Maybe one more defender because of the injuries they've got. Of course, there was a little linking with Christian Romero to Arsenal the other day. I mean, goodness me, don't get me started on that one. But that looks very well stocked for me.
Again, the numbers, they're an unbelievable spot. I think for Lewis-Skelly, I'll be looking and how am I going to get in that team? 19 years old, I think he'll want to be playing more this year. But again, it's his club. Will he back himself to get into the team? Eventually, no doubt. But yeah, I think it's a big season ahead for him. He'll want to play more regular. But for him, it's whether that emotional tie is too strong.
You want, obviously, for someone who may want to sign him, that versatility could be an asset. But you wonder if that's actually been a problem for Arsenal, because is his best position, is that going forward? You know, centre midfield. He's obviously played at left back as well. He is so versatile. What is his best position?
I think the way Arteta was playing when he was rolling kind of fullbacks inside, it suited him. He's obviously very versatile, and sometimes, like you say, it can go against you. Will he want to nail down one position? No doubt. But then the teams that have been linked with him, will they want him to cover areas as well? So sometimes the grass isn't always greener. You want to kind of nail down and be happy. And I think for him, he'll want to play football. That's the biggest thing this year. You'd
think he'd want to still play. He's such an Arsenal fan as well as a young man. You know, breaking through, coming up through the youth ranks. You'd think want to desperately, you know, try and make a name for himself there for the future, for sure.
Yeah, I think also with the club, you want players like him to come through. You know, it's a story that doesn't happen often from 8 years old to 19, 20 now. You want to keep players that know the club. He's a Premier League winner. Yeah. He's obviously a good guy to have around the place as well, still learning. So for Arsenal as well, I think they'll be keen to keep hold of him. It's just whether or not they can get him in the team.
Look, I mean, if he would have a conversation with Mikel Arteta, obviously one thing we need to look at as well is, obviously, in terms of PSR terms, it's pure profit. A homegrown lad, so that's one thing to look at as well. But also for him as well, he did break into the England squad last season as well. And sometimes it's great to be good at many positions, but I do worry sometimes with players. I don't know how you feel about this. It's nice to be able to have that versatility, but I like having nailed down as one position. Great if you can play somewhere if you've got a few injuries, but necessarily I'd like a player to be right. That's where I want him to be.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I was fortunate I couldn't play another position, so centre half was that for me. But yeah, you don't want to be one game playing left back, one game playing centre midfield, and you want to have that consistency. You want to play yourself into form in one position and nail that down. And I think for him, he's got to try and work out what he wants now, where he wants to be, and kind of when you go with that decision, you're going to have to deal with being out of the team sometimes and fighting, because the squad, as we've seen, is extremely strong.
Yeah, good point. Right.
Chelsea's reported interest in MYLES Lewis-Skelly has created a huge transfer storyline, with Arsenal supporters now asking whether one of their brightest young talents could really leave for a Premier League rival. The versatile youngster has developed rapidly and become an important part of Mikel Arteta's plans, making any potential move a major talking point as the transfer window continues. Chelsea are always looking to strengthen their squad with young, high-potential players, and Lewis-Skelly's versatility and technical ability make him an attractive profile. His confidence, composure, athleticism, and ability to operate in different positions have made him one of the most exciting young talents to emerge from Arsenal's academy. A move to Stamford Bridge would undoubtedly be a major Premier League transfer story. But could Arsenal actually cope if Lewis-Skelly were to leave? The Gunners have invested heavily in squad depth and have several players capable of covering different positions. However, losing a player who has already shown he can perform at the highest level could still create an important gap, particularly with Arsenal competing across multiple competitions. The claim that Arsenal are among the clubs most ready if the season kicked off tomorrow adds another interesting angle to the discussion. Arteta has assembled a deep and talented squad, but maintaining that strength throughout a long campaign requires quality options in every position. The Lewis-Skelly situation therefore raises questions about whether Arsenal should hold on to their young star at all costs or consider what opportunities might arise in the transfer market. For now, Chelsea's interest does not automatically mean a transfer is imminent, and the situation could change quickly as negotiations and club decisions develop. Arsenal fans will be watching every update closely, while Chelsea supporters will be wondering whether their club could make a serious approach. Could Lewis-Skelly really leave the Emirates, and would Arsenal's squad be strong enough to handle it? The next transfer update could provide a major clue.